Good evening, I'm Chloe Miller-Smith and I'm delighted to welcome you to the Claw Studio here at the Royal Opera House. This insight takes us behind the scenes with dancers of the Royal Ballet as they rehearse Mayerling, a story of all-consuming passion and royal scandal. Kenneth MacMillan's 1978 ballet draws upon the real-life series of events surrounding the murder-suicide of Crown Prince Rudolph and his mistress Mary Vetsera, known as the Mayerling affair. Tormented by dark obsessions and stifled by the oppressive conventions of the Austro-Hungarian court, Rudolph and Mary's secret love affair soon hurtles towards tragedy. Mayerling returns here to the main stage at Covent Garden on the 30th of March. A signature of the Royal Ballet's repertoire, Mayerling has all the hallmarks of a McMillan ballet, with ensemble scenes that show off the company at its dramatic finest and lead roles which portray the searing inner depths of the human psyche. Tonight, our first rehearsal. Please help me welcome dancers of the Royal Ballet, Misha Bradbury and Matthew Ball, with artistic supervisor for the McMillan estate, Laura Moreira. Hello, good evening. You'll find your marks very lovely. So first thing to say is obvious perhaps, but Mayerling is a masterpiece of storytelling. The characters at this heart of the ballet, they have so much depth, so much nuance. Matthew, you're dancing Rudolph, and Misha, you're dancing Princess Louise. Laura, I wonder first if I could ask you to just tell us a little bit, who are these characters and where do we find them at this early point in the story that we're about to see?
So you're right. So Princess Louise is Princess Stephanie's wedding to Rudolph, and Louise is her sister. And Rudolph, we find them at the very beginning, after the big walls opening ceremony of the wedding, and then Rudolph does a solo, which is a little bit of an inner monologue as McMillan actually introduces a lot of the characters and the main characters. And then he clocks Louise and his mind starts thinking, wouldn't it be fun? Because it's not entirely a happy wedding. Historically, Stephanie and Rudolph had a very long engagement, and he was happy at the beginning, but by the time we got to this point, it had soured a tiny little bit. And so basically Rudolph with Countess Lariche, who is on the other side, kind of thinks this could be fun, let's shake things up a little bit. And so he starts dancing with the bride's sister to much uncomfort of the whole court. And that's where we find it. And then the rest of the details will go along as we go into rehearsal.
Okay. Well, Matt, Rudolph is incredibly psychologically complex. I wonder if you could tell me at this point about him, but also what's going on at this moment emotionally for him.
Well, I think one of the interesting things about this role is the breadth that you have to kind of go through throughout the arc of the entire ballet. And so this first scene is quite tricky in a lot of ways because it's this, incredibly pompous sort of aristocratic scene, this wedding celebration, where it feels like everyone's playing a role, as in not the role of Rudolph, but like playing I'm the crown prince and everything's quite prim and proper. And so it doesn't feel like you lay little seeds of what could be, some of the emotional content that's within, but actually a lot of it is kind of behind closed doors.
There's a mask up.
Yeah, there's a mask, and there's maybe a few cracks in it that you want to deliver to the audience, but not for the most part. It's quite contained, and so I think because he's got so little agency in this wedding, it's not really what he wants to be doing. He feels like he's going through with this ritual, if you like, that's got almost nothing to do with him as an individual. He decides to take control in a certain way by causing a ruckus, sort of thing. So it's like it's got a sort of playfulness to it at the same time as knowing that the consequences are quite grave. Yeah.
Well, and Princess Louise, Misha, is a very different temperament to Rudolph, I think we can say. And how do we see her character navigate this moment and the tension in the choreography?
There's actually quite a lot of emotions that happen. We were talking about this within such a short pas de deux. It's quite an emotional journey. She starts off feeling quite embarrassed and awkward because obviously he's just married her sister, and she's actually stood talking to her husband at the beginning, and he takes her away from that. But she's also trying to, withhold her duty. She can't say no, so she does dance with him. But it's quite obvious, well, hopefully it'll be obvious, that I feel uncomfortable and embarrassed. But gradually, throughout the pas de deux, by the end, really subtle things like the eye line at the beginning. She can't look at him because it's so embarrassing. And then she starts looking at him and actually reciprocating kind of the flirtation and enjoying herself until it's stopped by her sister, and then she's absolutely mortified, and there's a very quick exit afterwards. So there's a lot, and it's a short pas de deux, but she goes through a lot of emotions throughout that.
Laura, we've talked, of course, emotionally, psychologically what's happening, but we're about to go into the rehearsal, so I wonder if there are any kind of physical demands that we're going to see the two of you dancers dance that we should look out for. What in this rehearsal might we keep our eyes peeled for?
So can I just say, this cast has just finished a full first run. So Matthew has just run the whole ballet from beginning to end. So the fact that he's standing is amazing. So physical demands, if you were watching what I just watched, then 100% is really physical. Weirdly enough, I think why we wanted to show you this pas de deux is because it is so nuanced. And it's I think it's really essence of McMillan, where just the tiniest little way of how you take a step or just how you look at someone can change the feeling. And then how do you take it from here to the audience, wherever they are sitting. And so I think we thought that it was an interesting one to really delve into those tiny little details.
Great. Well, we can't wait to see it. Thank you for letting us come into your rehearsal room. So thanks, of course, to Misha, to Matt, to Laura, and, of course, Michael Pansters joining us on the piano. Thank you. I will grab your mics from you.
Thank you. So it was much better today. It was good. Let's go through it a tiny bit slowly. We'll do excerpts with music and then just talk a little bit about it. Remember, Matt, one thing that you kind of said about he's so charming. There's just naturally something about him, is the look, is the charm. So all women kind of gravitate towards him, no matter how dangerous he is. So, the beginning is quite efficient. You did this great, blah, blah, she runs away. Then make sure, Misha, that I really see that you look at, so once you've run away back to your husband, and he comes back, make sure that the audience realize, and you don't have to be quite so obvious, but just that thing of, but my sister, exactly. He clocks her. Now, this one, make her feel that uncomfortableness, and then that right shoulder pulls her round, and 1, 2, perfect, So that's a moment that we've talked about quite a lot. Just that thing of almost having someone so openly check you out in such a, we've all felt that, no? In such a, Misha finds me very creepy, good. And then the 3 steps were perfect. Because, Misha, if you're already too like this, there's nowhere to go. So it's like that tension in your back, and you're just backing away into your step, And 1, 2, 3, foot, 2, 3, go away, and 1, 2, 3, good. And the head now, feel this arabesque, and change, good, nice. Remember, and again, it's a choice. Maybe let's move back a little bit because I feel like we're quite on top of the audience. Remember that if you look this way, there is an anger to it because it happens so many times. if you just have a slightly longer neck, it's like it's the pace of it as well. Exactly, yeah. I think that made us all feel a little bit more uncomfortable. Yeah, more than, oh no, cannot. Yeah, good. This is great. Your arabesque is beautiful. Don't go any further forward. Just make sure that you're breathing into your, yes, and then he takes the arm and pulls you around. Yes, perfect. And then we go into the next one. 1, 2, 3, 1. Now here he is again. Down, change, and down. Good, that's nice, good. And the up, up, and up. Now this one takes you by surprise. There we go, perfect. Yes, nice, good, good, good. Yeah, very nice. Let's do that with music. Also, because remember that one of them you can almost look. You don't have to look. It's that thing of, oh, okay, this is where we're going with this. Yeah, good. Let's just play the end of Rudolph's solo. Very nice, much better. Still too forward with your arabesque. Like you're reaching, don't reach. I think at the moment you're not reaching, you're just like absolutely, your speech is beautiful, you're just doing everything, and then he takes it away. Yeah, good. That's fine, this is good. This was much, much better. Then we go into these turns that were good today. Yeah, also if you notice in this pas de deux, well, in all pas de deux, actually to do with Kenneth MacMillan's work, it's so musical. I mean, like you hear the which where the turn happens, you hear. Once you hear it, you cannot unhear it, so that's good. Ta-ta, let's try a couple of these, yeah. So 5, 6, 7, and 8, and the lift, turn, 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 and the up, 2, 3, turn, her, and good, up, 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 yeah, good. Good. Yeah, I think the more you use him as a bar, like you absolutely just have to place it. And the more we put the emphasis on that up on that leg, so you're already up for that, then you're right on it. And cha-cham, 1, 2, perfect, yes, and help down and let him do it. Good. 1, 2, 3, 1. That's beautiful. There we go. And let him do it. Good. Misha, while we have the time and the space, this is great because we get an extra rehearsal. Yes. While we have the time, again, just think about within, because this is super hard, so you have to be so pulled up. Once you get to here, that it's not always the head that goes first, that someone turns you around, it's like you can focus, but your head goes slightly after. Just play around with that, whereas the first, exactly. Yeah, otherwise my feeling watching it is, and help me, pirouette. And you want to try to avoid that, even though it's super hard. Good. Done that, let's go into this hard waltzing step. Good. So big step, down, pass him, change, through. And that's nice. Big down, pass him, change, through. Good. Nice. Now with this is good. That was much better. I know it's the music that's driving that. My absolute ideal would be, and I don't know if that's where you're holding her mat, but it doesn't look like she goes into a back bend. But it looks like the weight of the promenade kind of makes her turn. So it's happening to her as opposed to I back bend and go up. So I think it's about trusting his feel, almost a little bit.
Quite high on the back.
Try, see, yeah. 1, 2, 3, let him do it. Yeah. So you come up and, yeah.
The second one
Better.
Okay, yeah.
It's almost, if I can, I've got 20 microphones attached to me, so. But if I can, so Misha, a little bit what is happening from here is that I see that. And you almost want to be there, and that's what happens as he goes. Okay. It's that weight thing. And 1, 2, look at him and then let him do it. Yes, and perfect. Yes, and let him do it. Yeah. First one was great. Second one,
Still choosing.
you just let the weight where Matt goes that it takes you around.
Yeah.
Good. Then we'll do hand-hand. So this is, he grabs the top hand, he offers the second, you have your doubtful McMillan foot. That's what I call, I have different feet terminology. Yeah, it's kind of that tension on it. And if it's too low, they won't see it. It's that thing of, I'm not sure if this feels right. You know, a tiny little bit. Chiam, bam, good. And then he spins and lock it in. Good, nice. Then square the hips, lift up, lift up, lift up, and back. Yeah, that was brilliant. That is such a hard step. The hand is kind of behind the back. She's got no impetus, so that you do that super well. Should we just go up to there? You can breathe, Misha, now. Good. Let's, maybe let's go on the second one into the pirouettes, yeah? Do you know where we are, Michael? Yeah. Thank you. Good. Nice, beautiful. Sorry, just killed the mood. I'm finding that it's such an intense ballet, and Matt and I always laugh about it because like they're doing this really intense scene, and I'm always like the third wheel, like in the middle. I'm just like in the middle, like yes, good, good, much better. It's the impetus of it. Don't let it take you. Yeah, you don't have to concentrate, but actually, when you feel the lift that already goes into that, that was really nice balance there. Yeah, it kind of, it's trusting now each other, so it's not happening. Good, this is great. You can almost anticipate it a second, Matt, into that, just so she's settled up on that hip. Okay. 1 and the 2 and the foot, right, and the, yeah. Yeah, otherwise it scares me. You're fine, but I'm just scared. Good. This is nice. Then again, Misha, just that feeling of, as you're running, that it doesn't get to, please help me. Yeah, that as you do that, it's just that feeling of, is he following still? And lift, 2, 3, he manipulates you, good. Good, and round, and then no, and perfect, yeah. Remember, that's the perfect spacing. Okay. Yeah, so once he's taking you this way, that you come right on that diagonal and you start it about here, because you don't want to be too close to center for that. Okay. Good, nice. Yeah, that's good. Let's go from the walls, and then we'll hit these pirouettes. Yeah? Good, little lead into the walls, thank you. Okay, good. Let's stop there. Good, nice. Good, good, good. From this one, can we come up before we turn?
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's more 1, 2.
Yeah, it's a little bit more proper for this pas de deux than if we get into next thing. Yeah. And then down. She comes up and turn. Yeah, Misha, just come up kind of not already in full third act McMillan man on. Yeah, so you just kind of, he's manipulated, you come up, turn. Then. So let's do it with music because it's quite specific. Yes, thank you. 1 and then 2 down on 3, come and 4 out. 5 and 6, stand 7, wait, down the arm, lift, 2, 3, push from the back, lift, up, yes, up, 2, 3, good, and push from the back, and stay, good. Less front leg, bit more of the back leg, yes. Okay, good, good, good. Yeah, that's fine. Good. Beautiful, Perez.
Thanks.
Yeah, nice. Good. I think it really helps to push from the back. Yeah, you're here, so you know that connection. Good. Then, yeah, just be careful with that one. It's a little bit more that he's bringing you forward, but actually it's all about the back leg. Yeah. Hold. And up, 2, 3, down. Now let him do it. And now over the arm. Yeah, you can do a little bit more there, Misha. I think from the down to the up. Like doubt and then kind of like mold into the back bend.
No, but like, I mean, am I pushing forward too much? It's fine. Yeah, I'm fine.
And lock the arabesque. And good. 1, 2, 3, up, down, and change, and up and over. And 1, 2, 3. Now play with this. He turns you. He turns, maybe a little bit slower, find your feet. There we go. Yeah, it's those moments that will change it. Yeah. And I think it's from this one that you really find your feet, wherever they are. Remember, not in a first, ideally. But then you can, just his heart coming towards you pushes you. And yeah, exactly. And then this is different. More than that 1, 2, 3 doubt. It's a little bit more of, do it with me. It's a little bit more that once you finish or whatever you guys want to do. It's like even the way that you do that can tell the audience that something is changing in your brain. You know, oh. You know, it just changes a little bit. Good. Could we go, Michael, from that one? It's the first, sorry. Let's go, are you doing into the, yeah, let's do into that. Just come out a little bit so we're not so close, thank you. So, lock it in. Good. Now let the music guide you. Now up and land it right in his eyes. Good. By now you're completely in. Good, great, good, much better. Good, 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 much, much better. This is good, this is good. Sorry, everyone's like congratulating. I'm like, yeah, this is good, this is good, this is good. Yeah, you can literally hear it in how it changes.
Yeah.
Jump, bum, 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 ta, da, da. I still think this one, Misha, maybe you're doing too many, like it's too square. so that it goes like a little bit more cat-like, something. Good. And he goes, she goes. Now find your feet, let the moment land. And then, yes, good. And up. Now this you 2 counts, and you land. Good. Now the foot. Now stay with the arm low, Matt, until this moment.
I see.
If you can keep it that she's here and we clock her, and then the opening is really the moment where she kind of falls for it. And don't go beyond the corner, Misha. Just be careful that this opening, it takes you right to where you want to go, and your mum and dad are there very disapproving. Cha, pa, 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 and they lift and they run. And so there's a little bit of embarrassment here, but then you just can't help yourself. Foot and foot. Perfect. Yes. Nice. Good. Great. Yeah, I think we didn't run it, but I hope that gives everyone an idea. Is those moments that I keep going on about it.
No,
It's my job also, but those moments, as soon as you're slightly off, it's just letting it land and then starting to feel your, in this case, Matt, or you feel, just starting to feel what the other person, and if you're both guiding it with the music, it should be spot on. Thank you so much. Thank you.
To see things in rehearsal. Matt's going to take a break. I think he might come back and join us in a little bit. And I wonder if you could all join me in welcoming as well Principal Character Artist Kristen McNally. I'm going to give you a mic. You'll need one of those. So thank you both so much for joining me. Laura, I'm going to start with you. You've performed so much of McMillan's repertoire yourself. What do you think is distinctive about his approach to storytelling through movement, particularly in this ballet?
I mean, how long do you have?
Let's say a minute and a half.
I mean, literally. So at the end of the run today, as we keep the company moving forward, trying to understand more McMillan, nuance the people that are already very experienced with it, and then the people that are new. I think it really is about an innate understanding of the music, knowing that he choreographed things in a certain place for a reason, and also the space. I think with Mayerling, having done Manon and Romeo and Juliet and staged them both now, it's very much like it can just break a scene and the tension if there's too much space between one person, or if they're slightly off center, or things like where someone is and then they cross in front and things like that. But it's about having intelligent artists that have done the research and they've done all the work up here. And then we always talk about then it's just knowing how you drop it into your body. And I think it's that you're speaking with your body. And so it's like I was saying to them today, if you're at the wedding, at the walls, and you're standing on the side, if I just say you're the person that I'm looking at, if I'm looking that way, I'm just admiring what you're wearing. And just by the way that my body goes forward or the way that I'm looking, you just know that that's, and having the thought process and showing that, but without showing it, if that makes sense. Yeah. So it's like if, for example, at the end of this pas de deux, you don't want someone to be like, oh my God, that was awful, bow. You don't want that, but you want it to maybe be like, oh my God, did you see that?
Intentional, all very
it's
intentional.
It's like, what's the pace, what's the dialogue? And it's huge when you take on a role like Matt's taking. I mean, it's like 3 hours, because you probably don't even get out of it when you're in the dressing room, of and for some people it's just dropping it more in the body. Because at the end, all you connect with is with your heart. And that's the thing, that he dealt with real emotions. And so just that to Kristen can have a different meaning than if I just did that. Just every part of your body has to be in tune with what's feeling in your heart, and then how you portray that. He's
Well,
like, shut up, Laura, too much.
No,
Your 1 minute is over, it's like the
all
Oscars.
amazing. It's but we're
Bring the music on.
We're talking about those relationships, and we're meeting a new character here. Kristen, welcome. Thank you so much for coming along. You're dancing Empress Elizabeth. You're Rudolph's mother.
Another complex
well,
figure to add
indeed.
into
Can
the
you
mix.
tell me a little bit about that relationship, the mother-son relationship?
Well, I think for her as a young woman, she was a free spirit, and it was this strict court life that she fell into that really didn't suit her. So, I mean, at this point in the ballet, she's been in that for, gosh, well over 20 years. And so I don't think, for me, has been a cold mother, but I think the more kind of a wounded and constrained one. She had a difficult relationship with her mother-in-law and wasn't able to look after the children. The children were kind of taken away. And so I think her coping strategy was to remove herself from court life. She travelled a lot. So it ends up as a difficult picture.
And it's clear there, talking to you, how much you've kind of really gone into the story. And Matt, actually, I wonder if I can pass you that and ask you as well how you, when you first danced this role, how you started to approach the character. Did you go into the history? Did you look at the psychology? How did you come to Rudolph?
Well, it was a kind of a unexpected first encounter with Rudolph that I had, in fact, which isn't what I would necessarily usually choose, but it was quite interesting because I did 4 or 5 days of rehearsal before having a stage call, I remember. And so I just kind of packed everything in. I was only a cover and someone had gone off injured, and so I had to learn it all of a sudden.
Wow.
And just because it's seen as, well, it is this mammoth role, but it also has this kind of prestige and legend around it for the male lead. It was quite a lot to take on, but it meant that it was basically about learning the steps. I understood the ballet well because I'd performed in it previously as one of the officers and in other roles in the corps de ballet, but I didn't have time to delve into a deeper research and everything like that. But I felt like because of that, I threw myself into it headlong and didn't have time to second guess stuff, which was kind of interesting. Yeah. And then now this is the third staging that I've done. And so I think now it's very interesting because I had that kind of template, which was perhaps a little bit thrown caution to the wind. But now I'm able to sort of fill in the gaps, especially supported by a really incredible cast and Laura as well, which has been really special.
So refining it as we go through. And
Yeah.
Laura, we're about to see a second rehearsal here. I wonder if you could place us in the ballet. What's going on? Tell us a little bit more about this mother-son relationship.
So it's actually what Kristen was saying. So we've seen that pas de deux. We've seen Countess Lariche. He's had all these women. We've seen the officers starting to put that political pressure on him and starting to be in his ear about it. And on his way to his wedding night with Princess Stephanie, he stops to see his mum. And big mistake, no. And actually, in the scene before of what you're going to watch, Empress Elizabeth, we saw her lady in waiting. It shows a little bit of the background of Empress Elizabeth, this woman that I think she's at her most comfortable. And there's a little machine, like an old-fashioned of the time machine, like a step kind of machine, because she used to do a lot of exercise. And I read the other day that that's the way that she felt through keeping herself beautiful, thin, her hair. She felt like she had some control of everything in her life. So again, it's just a very poignant thing that, it's very relevant to today. And so we find that she's just finished that, and suddenly she turns around and Rudolph is there. And then everybody just bows and leaves. And it changes the atmosphere into this tension between mother and son because they don't know how to be around each other and they can't meet each other's needs. So that's kind of where we are. Yeah.
Let's see it. Thank you so much. I will grab those and leave you to it. Thank you again.
Good. Again, just going from today's rehearsal, I thought it was really beautiful, actually. For me, this is the only role I didn't perform. I'm not just saying this to bring it back to myself, but like, you know, we constantly put like dancers in situations where they're exposing themselves. But out of all the roles from Louise to Mary, this is the only one I didn't do. So actually, like, I was nervous about opening up to the world, my thoughts on it, because you're like, so I've done a lot of research, but also at the end of the day is how maybe you're watching it, how it makes me feel, how it connects to the music and how it makes me feel. And so I'm guiding it through that as well as, you know, research on that. So Kristen, just from today, we'll go from you sitting, but just from the moment where you finish to how you walk, I almost thought that it was too, yeah, just how you walk back to the, I think you need to have that feeling of, oh God, he's here, like, this is gonna be awkward. Like just finding something, you know, oh, okay, I'll read a magazine. Yeah. So we'll kind of, already from the audience, you just feel that tension in between you both of uncomfortableness.
So I can keep that going really from when I first noticed it to all of this.
Yeah, exactly. That's perfect. Yeah, it gives me a sense of, oh, as opposed to I've gone into Empress and, you know, you are Empress. It's like it's so easy for you to snap into it. But I think that brings this pas de deux a little bit more truth. Good. For this one, let's play and go into it, and I'll stop a little bit in between if I see anything that I don't like. Stop. No, I'm not joking. Let's stop there. No, because I didn't like it, just to stop. Yeah. Nice, very nice. Yeah. Good. I mean, I get different views all the time, so that's much better. I also loved, Matt, how you picked up, I really like this, Kristen, how you kind of picked up the pace, because, you know, we're always talking about getting out of the 5,000 thoughts. And so you picked up the pace. And then I thought here, once you change your mind, remember, you don't have to do it, but remember how sometimes it's just almost starts with that, so we don't get it from here, but there is a little bit like, what? Yeah, because you were so vulnerable there, and it's nice, and then it took me somewhere else. I would love if once you get here, sometimes I don't think they're going to register. I don't think they're going to register the fact that. Okay, I'll just turn the page. It kind of feels like a weird hand. Yeah. So once you get there, yeah, it's the really taking it away. And we already get it from being that locked in. Good. This was great. Loved how you did that. This was good. Now, you know, just for information, that some people are doing it on the earlier one. Yeah. We have the 2 notations which are valid. So I love this moment between you, but you've made a choice to go on that later one. So I love how there's that moment just before you go. This is much better. Christina, I'd still love a bit of I don't know if you need Matt to hold you a bit tighter, but a bit of a, oh. And same with you same with you that we just get a moment where maybe your motherly instinct comes up, but no, just a tiny little moment. So, and drop, and something, and then no. Yeah, that's better. And I think this is going into a lot of detail.
That's good.
But I think, you have to say that because I'm coaching you, but. So I think that once you put the head, this is great. Because you do that, it's very tender. And I think sorry, Matt, can you hold your abdomen? Can you use your glutes and your stomach muscles? So I think that once you're there, I think it needs to be a removal.
Okay, yeah.
More.
Just enjoy stroking your hand.
Well, obviously. And in, little gentle moment, and then make the choice, no. Yeah. I think it's grabbing it that way as opposed to anything, like actually remove it. Remove him from yourself. Good. This is beautiful. You do that really nicely. You know, I think, like, just for context, please don't think about it too much because you're both very intellectual artists and I want you to not think now anymore. But what this says to me when I read in history is that actually she felt most in tune with Rudolph, most connected to him, but because everyone had taken him away from her. But she saw like that free spirit confined. And I think what this whole thing shows me, the way you were both doing it, was 2 tortured souls, which actually why it could have been so easy, but it isn't, and it has devastated consequences. And we can all connect to that in some levels. So the way you were doing that is great. This one, I sometimes feel, what do you feel there? Like, I don't quite believe it.
My reaction to it?
Either the way Matt goes in. I don't know, Matt, whether you're trying to say, like, mummy, or I'm not sure what's happening. So from tortured. Okay, so that's perfect. Yeah, just the way you were explaining it and the way Kristen reacted was perfect. And I think sometimes when we put the music, we're like, I need to go to my arabesque. Yeah. But even just the way you did that, Kristen, it had something in your body that was really nice. This is really good. This was great. This was great. Love the way you both do that. And then this is good. Matt, yep. I love the feeling of weight on your, like carrying a cross. But remember that she's still lifting a tiny little bit off the floor. So this is great. This is great. Now between here, yes, and there, and then on the floor. Yeah, does that feel too?
Yeah, it's good, but I think I might kind of try and help, and I might do the bumpy.
It was like mystery then, you know, when he breaks both of the ankles. Like at one point you were so low, Kristen, that you were like.
No, I'm just like.
Is that too low?
No, it's
maybe.
not risky for you.
No, it's just like I'm not on the shoulders, it's like behind the shoulders.
Maybe like in between. So, yeah. So she doesn't have to drag her legs like that.
It's just because it's on my back. I can't.
So this one always looks really good. It's almost whichever way you're twisting.
First one this way.
First one this way.
Towards the leg.
Sorry.
Towards the
That way. That way. I think it's when you try to get that leg that it comes off the floor.
Okay,
so somehow if you can just do it with the back a little bit more, yeah. And down, 2, 3, and down. Yes, Kristen, and sharp with those legs. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. How does that feel? Yeah. good. And the more you can feel, for me, like I said to you, it feels like Christ on the cross and the nail. That's just what it feels to me. I'm sure that had no relation to anything anyone thought, but that's just my own thought. Good. Let's go, how about we go from this moment into arabesque and then carry on into the bourrées? That's no use, Michael. Do you know where I am? Thank you. Okay, good, thank you. I think I've made it worse, I'm sorry. I can own that. Yeah, I think I've almost made it that she's kind of moving around a little bit too much now, as opposed to feeling like she's right up and you're just so crossing. So it might be that because you're that low, so ignore what I said, not the first time you've done that, I know it, yeah.
But the low.
I think as long as she doesn't leave the floor, yeah, but I think it's better how it was before. It had a nicer shape for her. Good. This is really nice, love this. From the first one to the second one, Kristen, I almost delay that it looks like Matt is doing the arms. So ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. This is great, the way he's snaking. Now let him, yeah, perfect. There we go, yeah. I think, again, because it's a music-driven thing, you just want to get on with it. Yeah, good. Ta-da. Nice. Let's go from, have we got the second lot of walks with twists? Yes, thank you. Build the moment. Very honest. Articulate the second heel. Yes. Good, nice, excellent, good. Thanks, Michael, good, nice. Just to give context, this is the difficult moment, good. This is great, Matt, I'm not gonna make you do it again because you've just done a 3-act ballet, literally. Yeah, it's almost like, again, in the music, it's not for your technique, but it's just that the foot kind of going, chia-ram, turn and what, and so it's almost like a conversation with the foot. Chia, chiam, pam, this is like that, exactly, yeah. This one is the one that's giving you the courage to go into something good. Then this moment is really hard for the Empress. It's working really well between you, but it was the famous thing that it's not really crying. And again, in my research, there was a concept that I love, that it was, some people have said, don't look at me, but it's actually, I can't even look at you. Like the way you behave, so it's that. But so if you can have a bit of both, so it doesn't feel like suddenly she breaks into sobbing, but it's that frustration, and I can't even, that actually brings you to tears. And I think it's even how you hold the tension in the hands, yeah. But it was good. I just wanted to give them context, yeah. You don't have to do it again. Good. Matt, from here, if you can lean back a tiny little bit so she doesn't feel like she's just, yeah. Keep that tension, keep that tension, keep that tension. She decides, no, please just go, yeah, yeah. And then I don't think you should stay there as long. I think once it's there, this that drives you. It's like, and cha, pa, pa, do, and there, 1, cha, cha, up, 2, 3, good, nice, good, yeah, nice. The next one, just make sure, Christine, that you shape that leg. We've got to stop, right? Just shape that leg.
We're waiting. Look, we can see one last bit. Please
Yeah,
do show
can we
us.
just, yeah, just do that, and we'll finish on that. Thank you. Just where we stopped, Michael, into the piqués. Tender. Now shape it. Yes, good. Good. Now make this natural. Yes. Two whirls spinning. And let's stop there. And you'll just have to come and watch the show if you want to know how this ends.
Thank you so much, Matt. Thank you, Lara. Thank you, Kristen. I'm very pleased I backed off there. Very pleased indeed. What an amazing privilege to see that work, and also exhausted after a long day of rehearsals already. So far we've had the chance to look inside the rehearsal process and hear about the extraordinary demands physically of Mayerling. But of course this ballet is also part of a much bigger legacy, the work of the Royal Ballet's principal choreographer Kenneth MacMillan. Mayerling is one of the most powerful ballets in the company's repertory, and it continues to challenge and inspire new generations of dancers and audiences. To explore the impacts of this ballet and the legacy of Kenneth MacMillan, we're now joined by Deborah McMillan in conversation with Laura Moreira. Let's please welcome them now. Hello. Deborah, please take a seat. Thank you. And thank you so much, Laura, for bringing us into your rehearsal room this evening. It really is such a privilege to see. Deborah, thank you for joining us. I know you've been here many times before, and the Opera House is somewhat of a home to you. Mayerling, indeed, premiered here in 1978, so nearly half a century ago. And in that time, it's become a really core part of the Royal Ballet's repertory, and it's been performed all over the world. What do you think it is that keeps us coming back?
It's a bloody good story. I don't know. I think when ballets last, it's because everybody who comes to see them finds something in it that rings true to what their own experience or what they know of the history. I mean, it's wonderful for me to watch a rehearsal like that and to see the marriage of the technical side, but how it constantly feeds the emotional side. And the way that you particularly inspire that, so they're not just doing steps. I'm not a dancer, but every single movement that Kenneth ever created meant something, I think. I don't think there's one ballet where there were just steps. Even in the so-called abstract works, there's a meaning for why that step is made. I mean, I've said this before, but dancers don't make ugly shapes. And the few times that I've watched Kenneth choreograph in the past, he would keep rejecting things all the time when he was creating until somebody did something that chimed with whatever the idea was. And I think he immersed himself in this story. He found the women incredibly important. And I think the wonderful thing about the pas de deux we've just seen is that it generates a tension and a fury and an intensity of emotion that then allows the wedding night to take place. And an audience needs to feel that build all the way through the ballet. And I think the women are so important. Every single woman on that stage is so important, because without what they're doing, Rudolph is a cipher. And at the end, you really, you feel for this poor man. I mean, he's a wreck. But you can see, because of the pas de deux, why he's a wreck, what's happened in his upbringing, what's happened in his relationships and the court itself. And I mean, it's lasted because it's a powerful, powerful story. And the dancers, every single generation that comes to it finds something new to say about it. And I think if the ballet gives that to a ballet company, then it's a powerful piece.
It's a gift, absolutely.
Yeah,
and you mentioned the women, and Laura, of course, you've danced so many of them. You mentioned not having danced Empress, but you've danced everything else, I think.
Yeah.
Except the men.
Except the men.
Yeah,
Except the men.
But when we're
okay. But when we're thinking about the women, tell me what it is that makes Kenneth's female characters so unique that you don't see in other choreographers' work.
They're just real. They just allow you to release, and I say release because it's like all the things, good and bad, are possibilities within us. Mm. We all have everything that we see or don't see, and so it's like we don't release most of those things, but they're just real. And then the choreography is exploring the music and exploring the choreography and looking at the subtleties. And as an artist, it's just literally a gift that keeps on giving, because you just never stop discovering. And their power. I mean, even when people say, "Oh, it's a victim," but in a way, we're all powerful and we're all victims. And so it's just like, it's life. It's like, sometimes you find the strength to stay in relationships that you shouldn't stay in, and that doesn't make you weak. And so it's like, as an artist, you just understand the truth of that character, and then you can find what you want to show when. And then hopefully it will create an emotion within the audience that, is exactly what it's meant to be for the piece.
And those complexities of life, Deborah, and therefore those kind of darker territories that Kenneth takes us into here in Mayerling, but also in his other works. Was that Kenneth trying to push ballet to a place, a new world of storytelling, or was that just the kind of storytelling that Kenneth wanted to tell?
It was his language, and he was passionate about Sleeping Beauty and about the classics. He never wanted to choreograph for companies that didn't have the classics to a very high level, because he said, if they don't understand that and they can't do that, I can't work with them. He revered the classics, but he didn't want to do the classics. He didn't want to do ballets about fairies or people with wings on their backs or pretending to be animals and things. I don't think he did it deliberately. I just think he was pushed by something that made him work. Some of the times he would say, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. It's like a giant puzzle. I can't find the piece. I can't find the piece. And then he would, and then suddenly something would take shape. And it's often by watching the work that you begin to understand a little bit more of what he really meant. And what is brilliant about Laura picking apart and building up is that these young dancers, I mean, Kenneth's a dinosaur to them. He died over 30 years ago, so they have no knowledge about him at all, really. I mean, they might read a book, but that's it. But to have somebody who has danced every role just about, who understands how important every single character, that's the other thing that Kenneth used to say, is that however small the character, they're part of the big picture, and if they're not part of the big picture, I don't want them in the ballet, because I don't want them just propping up the sides. So it's an ensemble performance. It's, I think, truly great theatre, because I think when when choreography is a language and you communicate something through bodies and not speech, you take people to a different place. And I think these ballets do that. I'm very biased, of course. But no, it's wonderful for me to sit and watch a rehearsal like that because, you know, you see the whole organic growth of the part. You see the organic growth of the relationships. You know, the relationship with the mother is so powerful. The relationship with Lariche. Lariche is one of the most important ballet, characters in the entire ballet. I mean, one company, somebody was asked to do Lariche, and she said no, it wasn't a principal role as far as she was concerned. So she didn't go very far. Because Lariche is, you know, Lariche understands him. Lariche is able to feed his needs. He's a very warped and difficult character. And Lariche is always there all the way through, just about. So every single part in the ballet is vitally, vitally important for the whole organic whole of the piece. And I think it's great theatre.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd agree. And we saw in rehearsal, you know, you're able to joke and but Laura, you mentioned that when you come off stage, for example, when Matt comes off stage from a full 3-act ballet, and we've seen how you're working as individual artists to really portray and become a character. Tell me how it feels to inhabit rather a character in this piece.
I mean, it feels amazing because you just get to be someone else and live someone else's life. But I remember when I first debuted as Mary, like I say, I was like over 40 or something, and I debuted with Federico. And Fede and I had a really lovely, we worked so much together, we had a very lovely relationship, like just really friendly, and it was just great to work with him. But I remember we finished like Mayerling, and the next day I came into class. It just shocked me a bit because I was a bit embarrassed, like, because you kind of think like, oh, we let ourselves go to this place that we would never. And so like you're looking at the person and you're like, hi, yeah, hi. It's like, it just takes you a moment to come back to real life, you know? Yeah. But it is amazing. I think the one thing that I feel so lucky to have danced McMillan is that without this kind of work, I don't think we would have been able to explore so much history and human emotion. We wouldn't have had an outlet. And so we would have then maybe retired and tried to become actresses or tried to become an actor. And I feel fulfilled.
Wow.
Because I got to do that through this work. You know, and I always knew that this was the place because I was surrounded by artists that all have that drive. And sometimes it works. I mean, you can tell, you know, hopefully by watching today, like I was saying to Deborah, that much choice one day can completely tip. But you have to allow the artist, you know, I can give them everything, but then they're going to make those choices, you know. And with Matt saying when he first stepped in, I watched Matt's show when he first stepped in. And even though there were things in the Act 2 Mary Rudolph part that the power the power play wasn't there because they didn't have enough time to explore it. But the Act 3 was raw. Because like he said, he just felt it, and he was probably exhausted and overwhelmed. And so it's like also coming back to that feeling a little bit with so much knowledge that you go back to that feeling of how you felt then and bringing that into your performance as well.
What an extraordinary thing as an artist. And we're now going to move on to our final rehearsal. I'd love to have talked for much, much longer, but Laura, I wonder if you can introduce, please, this next character and this final bit of rehearsal.
Yeah, so we've got the beautiful Mariko Sasaki, who is playing for the first time Mitsy Casper. Mitsy Casper runs the brothel, and she is also, she needs to do, I see her as she needs to do what she needs to do to survive, and she just needs to keep her business afloat, and so she needs to backstab Rudolph at some point in the back by feeding information to the Prime Minister against all the thoughts that he's having. She will do it because she needs to do what she survives. But she's a very important person in Rudolph's life. And again, like a major kind of support. And I think she runs a place that Rudolph feels most comfortable in, and where he can just be himself. And coming from the oppression of the court in Act 1, this is the first thing that we see in Act 2. Yeah.
Brilliant. Let's see it. Thank you
you
both so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, as we heard, it is McMillan's choreography for Rudolph, one of the most technically and emotionally demanding roles in the repertory for male dancers, that makes the ballet so powerful. Rudolph's emotional decline is charted through daring and visceral pas de deux with the women in his life. Choreography that pushes classical ballet to its limits. Now, we've met some of those women this evening, as we've talked about. Princess Louise, of course, danced by Misha Bradbury. Empress Elizabeth, danced by Krista McNally. And for our final rehearsal, as Laura let us know, we're going to meet one more, Mitsy Casper, Rudolph's mistress, danced by first soloist of the Royal Ballet, Mariko Sasaki. So thank you very much. Let's welcome them now.
So Mariko also did the run early, and Mitsy is a very tiring role. What's interesting about us working together, Mariko, is that, thank you very much, this is not yours, but that actually is the first solo role that Mariko takes in a McMillan ballet. And she's come from just making a debut in Giselle and has been dealing, with stuff. So we started the process a little bit later. So you're really kind of seeing, even though she's very early on in the run, actually in the first night, but we're starting to find McMillan's language together, right? And I think what we're finding is that it's so structured before you can set it free. Yeah, good. So let's go into the solo. Oh my God, I'm just picking up so many things from the floor. It's like, let's go. So we'll go, Stephanie, he's brought Stephanie in, send her away, and then you're going to entertain Rudolph. And let's go, you can already be by the table, and let's go from the solo. Now remember, Mariko, the weight of it. Yes. Yeah, like it was so much better today. Just the weight of Chiam, and direct Rudolph and the audience to specifically what part of your body you want someone to look. So, if you're doing that, most people will probably be watching our backs. If you're doing that, most people will probably drop to our feet. You are in command of what everyone is watching, because that's what you've been groomed to do. Yeah. Nice, good. Little lead into her solo, thank you. There, good, because you did a run before. Sorry I know you all enjoy so much watching, just to save her legs. So much better, Mariko. You just need an audience, didn't you? You were just like, I just need an audience, please just, yeah, much, much better. As we get more and more into it, remember that we don't want to feel like they're all the same. Like, I feel like they're just around there. Yeah. But that some of them, that you could do something different. Otherwise, it feels choreographed, even though it's beautiful to look at. Good, much better. Now remember this very fine line between this way and that way. Yeah. It's like you want to look under. So you want to feel like if you're looking at someone, it's like directing it that way. So you're a bit like, that way with the left ear. Yeah. Yeah. And again, don't, for you, because you've got that intensity, bring intensity, but also bring fun to it. Yeah. That there are moments when she's, especially this one, she's just fun and gorgeous. Yeah, good. Let's try one of these. Yeah, if you're okay. You right? Good. From the bourrée, let's do it with music, Mariko. Jump, pum, 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 up. And PK under, roll, now go. Sha, and hard. 1, 2, 3, good. And up. Yes, good. Now same, under, right here, and left arm. Yes, up. Good. Good. And up. And 1 PK down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. Now shake it up. Go. 2, 3, 1, and lift. And then release. Good. Now go travel. Up. Okay, good, nice. I think I need a front view for this because I can't see anything. I actually can't see anything. Good, much better. Yeah, this is a really hard step, the first one. You're nervous, there's not a lot of room, you're kind of like, my advice from having done it a lot is the more that you can attack it and sustain it at the same time. Exactly. Up, 2, 3, turn, 2, 3, lift, 2, 3, melt. Yeah, it's like some of them, there's been many Mitsis, some of them are classier than others. But what you don't want, you can be a classy Mitsy, but you still want to feel that you're like, look at this, it's gorgeous. Yeah, good. Be careful with this one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And chassé up, and chassé up, and chassé up, and that's nice. It's nice when you change your look. Yeah. Should not look like steps. So that's what we're aiming towards now. Yeah, that it's nicely coached. 1, 2, but you really want to just be, like surprising yourself as well as him. 1, 2, 3, down, and shake up the arms, down, and surprise yourself, down, up. Now get on your leg, lift, and drape. There we go, nice. Even then, it just made you do a little something. I'm all up for that. You don't have to do it, but if it happens, it happens. Good, nice. This was great. Remember, we want to travel on that one, not on this one. Yes. Yeah. So 1, 2, and show him. And this is about your feet. Make it a tiny less, Okay. 1, 2, 3, feet. Hard. Let's go with hard, yeah. Yeah, there, good. Let's go from that moment, yeah, and then we'll pick it up to this ones, into that, yeah. Always round, yeah. Yes, always round it with everything. Like really precise, good. Little bit into the, yeah, coming forward. Thank you, Michael. And up. Good, step it out. Show him your heel and change. Up, down, and cha, pa, and there. Release, and 1, and good. Now undulate it, yes. Lift up. Now leave the scent behind. Okay, good, nice, good. Remember the more, especially because for the lower leg, for everyone. This is just, it's heavy. The more tension you put, the more you're holding. So once you've done this one, up, down, and up. Feel the floor, like make sure you feel the floor. Up, down, step back, and there is no fifth. You just finish here, here, and then you just step to go. Perfect, yeah. Much better. These were very nice, at least from the from the side. This was good. This was much better. Slightly smaller circle, Michael. You want to go round, yeah. Otherwise, what we see is the leg, and actually, what we want to see is heel. Oh, heel. Oh, by the way, heel. Oh, by the way. 1 up and 2 up. Yeah, but yeah. Can I go with you? And cha, pa, down, change, and 1, change, and right up to him. There we go. Yeah. So you're not leaving it behind this way, but you're taking it with you. And 1. Next bit. This was much better. What I call your man on mistress moment, because that's what we do that in man on mistress. Up, down, good. Down and there, down. Yeah. No. It cannot. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, change. But you don't finish there. Okay. Good. Nice. From the rehearsal, we'll do that and try to link it. This is nice. Now, I was watching Darcy, who did the Viviana, and this is nice, but she's like fully like that. I think for you, choose whatever you want out of the two. We've been trying to make it, but I do think it's like you are just draping yourself in the most gorgeous outfit. And 1, 2, go, yes. And change down, and side, foot, and side foot, and side foot. Yes, better. Good. So remember, this is what's important. As soon as we get here, we get into, you're like, watch it. I mean, that's literally what's going through your brain, you know, like, just, yeah, all of this. Good, nice. Let's go, if you're feeling good, just to link something. How about if we link this into the first of this and watch you go? Yeah, nice. Just gonna go up here, but I'll sit down just so I can watch you from the front. Thank you. And. Enjoy it. Now go, travel, go. Good, thank you, good. Much better, Mariko, on this. They're getting there. I don't believe your last step at all. Like, my mind goes to, oh my God, please just let it stop. I kind of like, you were all like, yes, loving myself, and then I can literally feel your mindset. These are fine, but as soon as you turn the corner, you're like, yeah, a little bit too much. So we can see that. Yeah, good. This is better. It's that mixture with this one. Like the more you can feel, yeah. Because if it gets too controlled, We're like, what are we watching? But if it gets too wild, it just keeps turning. So I think the first one is a suggestion. Then this one, it's like that, like you're doing that to someone, like, you know, cha, pa, pa, good. And ta, pa, 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 turn, down, hold. Whoa, yeah, too much. Yeah, remember the hard one from this one, the second one. You want to really know where you're putting that foot. Down and there, so you're there. And there, yeah, don't overcross it. It should be front, but you're just turning a little bit. So a tiny, tiny little bit. There, yes, good. And then pa, and pa, good. And go, and go, and go. And to the leg, yes, and go. And to the leg, yes, Marek, yes. Yeah, it's when it gets mini. Because this guides us into the new officer dance, which is wild. So she wants to be suggestive, but we want to feel good. Shall we do the last bit? Yeah. Remember, don't think that these hitch kicks are on the spot. It's like you transfer your weight and then just know where you landed to go into the next foot. So you're like a panther. Yeah, and then leave your scent behind. He's right up there. You absolutely know he's following you. You just know. So the audience need to know that you know without making it obvious. I know. Oh, you're there. A little bit, good. How are your legs feeling? Yeah. Shall we go from the back ones? These ones? Yeah, is that good? Can you play right on across the front back into the circle ones? Yeah, so after the front back bends. Thank you. Long, 2, 3, back. Direct the leg. Sorry, Michael. Play right on the back bends. Right on them, thank you. 2, 3, 4. Diagonal, diagonal, and fully side. Now feel that and back bend, go, back bend, go. And 1, keep the leg, pa, good. Right up to it on the music, good. Cha. Yes, Mariko. Now go, live your best life. Go. Change, yes. And go, pa. Feet through the point demi. Now lift up as you bring it through. Point demi, yes. There we go, good. And even this step, just 1. Yeah. Nice. I think it's when we get to like this. It's like you're not lifting, but once you've done that, the through, it goes through the foot and demi. Otherwise, it's quite hard because it gets very low. Yes, there we go. And then pa. Good. And then just live it and love it. There we go. Nice. Yeah. So for you, it's all that detail and then the sense of fun and seriousness. You did loads. Thank you so much, Marika.
So sorry to have to interrupt. Thank you so much. Well, I'm exhausted just watching that. As ever, we're so sorry to have to interrupt rehearsals. We could stay here all night, I'm sure, but you'll just have to come back in a few weeks' time. So huge thank you there to Mariko, to Michael on piano, and to Laura for letting us into their rehearsal room. It has been a really wonderful evening with the chance to see Kenneth's choreography up close, to hear directly from the artists who are working to bring it back to stage here. And while this insight, of course, is coming to a close, you can catch Kenneth MacMillan's Mayerling when it opens on the main stage here at the Royal Opera House on the 30th of March. You can find tickets, of course, on our website. A huge thank you to all of the dancers tonight, to Laura, to Michael, and to Deborah, of course, for speaking with us. And thank you to all of you here in the Claw Studio in London and to wherever you are watching around the world. Thank you. Good night.